Super tired. Tried to do a new video style. Did not pan out well. Wasted an entire day on it. But here's the dream I had this morning, which was actually pretty amazing. I was a truck driver driving in the middle of the night down this one road. I see a bunch of 18-wheelers spread across the road. I get off to investigate, and I immediately assume that if there's a murderer going around killing people. It flashes forward into a moment where I'm on top of a roof. I'm in full detective gear. I'm looking at a puddle in the rain with the moon shining on it, or reflecting on it, really. And I think to myself, I need to catch this murderer. Next thing I know, I'm in the middle of a neighborhood. I see a street light. It's the middle of the night. And I'm walking towards the street light because there's a house underneath it that I associate as my home. I get there, and someone I've never met before is my roommate informing me that I have a friend waiting for me in my room. I open my room, and it's one of my friends who was just there waiting for me to get home so that I could use my restroom. I thought that was kind of weird, and I look around the room, and I realize it's not even my house, it's not even my room. I'm just keeping guard because the person who actually owns that house is on vacation. And they asked me to house sit. So I was like, all right, weird. You have a roommate, but whatever. Then it flashes forward again, and I have my own apartment, a 3-story building. I'm on the 3rd floor. The 2nd floor is a convenience store, and the bottom floor, I think, is a parking lot. And it's like each floor is taken up completely. So I completely have the 3rd floor. It's a studio. On the outside, it has like rusted stairs that go down to the convenience store that also has a pair of stairs that also goes down into the parking lot. Or on the far end of the convenience store, there is a walkway. So there's 2 entrances. One entrance goes directly to my apartment or the garage or the parking lot, and the other entrance is to a I guess a how do you call it? Wow. Like a rail, or not a rail, but like a walkway, like a public walkway, like the River Walk or something, but like in the sky or whatever. I don't know how you call it. I'm super sleepy. So like I'm in that apartment. This in-game message, because apparently I'm in a game, pops up that I need to like put these cameras everywhere to catch this murderer. And so I go around, I put the cameras up, and I'm like, all right, job's well done. And then a friend of mine was like, hey, let's go watch a movie. 2 friends actually were like, hey, let's go watch a movie. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with you guys. And then one of them was like, before we go, please go get real cheese for my nachos. And I'm like, that's weird, but okay, I'll go get some real cheese. I go to the convenience store, I buy some nachos, and I'm walking out. And as I'm walking out, I'm informed that my cameras may have caught something, so I have to go check those out. So instead of going to the movies, I immediately start going towards the first camera. But then I forget that I'm in a video game, and parents like Grand Theft Auto or whatever. I have a rocket launcher and I accidentally shoot it. It wasn't in my hands a second ago. It just popped up, and then I accidentally shoot it. It hits a gang of AFK players. I didn't know they were AFK at the time, or else I could have just ignored it. But I figured, oh man, I already hit them. I might as well just have to kill them and then run away, right? So they were really high level. It took like 5 shots. They finally die. But they weren't moving. I realized, oh my god, they're AFK. I could have just gotten away with like one warning, like the first shot, because it didn't really do much damage to them. And so I was like, oh my god. But then when I realized that, they start responding, they have golden rocket launchers. And I'm like, oh no, why? Why did I fight these guys? And then so I start running away. They cut me off. They shoot the rocket launchers. They miss because rocket launchers have terrible aim. And I shoot in between 2 guys that knocks them back. Doesn't do a lot of damage, but it knocks them back. And I start running the opposite direction. And as I'm running in the opposite direction, I'm looking at my mini-map with my peripheral vision in my dream. And I'm like, oh no, the dog's going to get me. I say that in my mind, in my dream. And I was confused for a second because I was like, why am I... Like, that was like, I'm thinking all the time in my dreams. Every time I have a dream, I'm thinking, right? But it was a thought within a thought, and that freaked me out. And I was like, what dogs? And then I go across, as I hit that corner, one of their dogs jumps at me, and in midair, as it's about to bite me, I'm like, oh no, I love dogs. And then it starts mauling me to death, right? And then so my character dies. Whatever, right? Everyone's laughing. And then the leader of the team that I like blew up comes up to me, and I say, good game. And they're like, good game. We shake hands, and then I respawn. And when I'm respawn, I'm in a new area, a completely new area, abandoned woods. The sun's setting, so it's getting kind of dark. There's these two sheds that have the doors cemented shut. Really creepy vibes, because especially all the trees were dead, all the brush was dead and stuff. And there was like a bunch of debris everywhere. I see a tornado off in the distance. I'm like, oh, cool, a tornado. That's new. I don't usually dream about tornadoes. And then a helicopter flies by, and they intercept my comms. And it's like, hey, look, I'm about to go pick you guys up. And I'm like, you guys? And I realized there was someone else there with me, right? I'm like, oh, yeah, you spawned there with me. And he's like, whatever you guys do, don't get near the tornado. Duh, right? Obviously, don't get near tornadoes. And then he's like, and then another thing is, it's picking up the dead. And I'm like, what? And I look at the tornado, and it zooms in, like my dream zooms in. And I'm seeing the silhouette of a foot with like torn pants on it. And I'm zooming in on the silhouette of this foot leg thing. And the foot tears from the leg, and I'm like, why was that visualized in my dream? Like, why? And stuff. Next thing I know, the guy who spawned with me that I realized wasn't really, like, I didn't realize was there at first, was like, actually found 2 dead bodies, and I buried them. And the helicopter guy was like, don't get near those graves. Whatever you do not get near any of the dead. And then I started thinking, oh shit, this is a zombie apocalypse. But then I woke up. And I was like, wow, that was a pretty crazy dream. I actually made this video, I don't know how many times. And this is probably my shortest time, 7 minutes. But I'm going to keep talking, because after I woke up, I took a shower, I went to the gym. On my way to the gym, I saw literally 9 18-wheelers on the side of the highway just parked. I was like, what is going on? That gave me so much anxiety. I'm like, whatever. I go work out. I come back home, taking a shower, get dressed, ready to go to work. And I decided to do this new thing where I use my computer to record the story and tell the story, and record my voice with my mic and stuff like that, where it sounds a lot better. And as I'm doing the story, I hear a helicopter fly by, and I'm like, oh my God, that's 2 things out of the dream. And so I'm like, whatever. Hopefully it's just coincidence. But either way, thank you guys for listening. Y'all have a great night, and I'll see you tomorrow.